we probably will be running this broadcast a bit longer than we plan to be. So this episode, we have Amrit Sura all the way from BC, Columbia. He had some network issues because of which he could not connect with us. Our sincere apologies for this delay in starting the broadcast. So today we wanted to share some information from our local areas. In Mississauga, there has been a shooting. It's in Malton neighborhood, and it is believed that 2 people were shot at. And what happened to them, I never followed, but I guess they got shot dead actually, so they are not alive anymore. This news item came in today. It happened early morning. There was a lot of police presence. Right now by Darsal and there is a street called the Rankin Drive, Brandon Gate and Darsal, we noticed a lot of police presence there. No idea what's going on there. We noticed, I guess it was kind of an ambulance or their investigation van that was parked there. So this is where it is. So basically 2 people have been taken to hospital after an early morning shooting in the Malton area of Mississauga. And 2 victims were subsequently transported. So I stand corrected. They were transported to hospital. They did not die. My apologies for that. They were transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect is still outstanding. No suspect information is available so far. So like I said, there is a large police presence. People are still alive, thank God. At the same time, Project Stallion that was launched by Toronto Police has ended with more than 1,000 vehicles recovered that were valued at $60 million. 228 suspects were caught. 228 suspects, more than recently, carjacking has been on the increase. More than 300 carjackings have been reported so far. More than 300. And out of those 300, 200 alone are from Toronto. So these are violent carjacking. There was another project that police launched, Toronto Police launched in collaboration with the York Police and Peel Police. At that time, they recovered vehicles worth $3.5 million. Earlier this year, under Project Stallion, the Toronto Police mentioned that 550 stolen vehicles were recovered, which at that time were valued $27 million, and 314 charges were laid against 119 people. What's going on? दुनिया इन्नी क्यों उल्टी सीधी जा रही? It's really a dangerous situation, violent situation every day. So this is what I would like to suggest all my viewers. Make sure your doors are locked all that time, because these days people have been forcefully entering your houses at midnight or past midnight, breaking windows, getting into your house, stealing the car keys, and then just running away with your precious vehicles and maybe some very precious documents in the vehicle. Private information gets stolen all the time. So if ever your vehicle is stolen, make sure you call those credit bureaus and tell them that this has happened, and they can put a block or extra check on your credit check. So if something happens, they can always protect you. And at the same time, do call your credit card companies, whether you remember if their card was stolen or not. It's a good idea कि ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਚੋਰੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਕਾਰਡ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਲਈ ਫ੍ਰੀਜ਼ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣ. ਸੋ ਦੇ ਕੈਨ ਆਲਵੇਜ਼ ਡੂ ਦੈਟ. ਉਧਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਓਲੀਵਾ ਚੋ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਫੋਰਡੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਪਰ ਅਫੋਰਡੇਬਿਲਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਰੈਸਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਹੁਣ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਾ 9 ਮਨ ਤੇਲ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਰਾਧਾ ਨੱਚੇਗੀ। ਫੈਡਰਲ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਮਸਲਾ ਹੀ ਮਸਲਾ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਇੰਨੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ। ਤੇ 65,000 ਹਾਊਸਿਸ that Olivia Cho wants to build, where are they coming from? So Toronto's new plan to build 65,000 affordable housing units hinges on billions in provincial federal funding. God bless Canada, Toronto specifically. So these politicians, they make very tall claims during their election campaigns that they will get housing under control. In my opinion, no politician can handle that given the current scenario. The rates are high. People are scared to sell their houses. People are scared to buy their houses. So there are so many ifs and buts going on here. In this scenario, when the labor is pretty expensive, material is pretty expensive, there is a shortage of worker, and Olivia Cho sold her dream of building more houses, and I knew this is what is going to come down to. So now I wanted to make it, but federal funding didn't happen. This is what is going to happen. So politician, never trust them. This is what I would suggest you. ਸੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਹੱਲ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਬਾਇਰਸ ਤੇ ਸੈਲਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਹੋਣ। ਦ ਮੋਰ ਦਾ ਲਿਸਟਿੰਗ, ਦ ਮੋਰ ਦਾ ਚੋਇਸਿਸ, ਦ ਬੈਟਰ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸਿੰਗ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰੀਏ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੀ, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਬੜੀ ਦੂਰ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੂਰਾ ਜੀ। ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਸਪਰਿੰਗ ਹਿੱਲ ਕੰਡੋ ਦੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਧੱਜੀਆਂ ਉਡਾਈਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਫਟਾਫਟ ਵੇਚੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਯੂਨਿਟ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਘਟਦੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਇਫ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ, this is the right time. So 7789991531 ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਲਓ। ਸੂਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਜੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਹੈ 6473332273 ਤੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਰੋਕ ਲਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਾ PC24 RETV show, sir.
Thank you so much for having me again. You know, we're as Paul said, we're entering into a season where there is some fear and worry. However, if we're looking at anything that we reflect on from the past, as far as making your money work for you, when you take a deposit amount, put that against a property, and hold the contract, for 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years is sometimes the turnaround time for new construction projects. So your money will be working for you. So whether or not you take the opportunity to complete that or assign it to a new buyer, entirely up to you. But as history does repeat itself, there is more sort of confidence with buying new construction for the purpose of having money actually earn some interest for you, right? Because if you put your money in the bank or any stocks and funds, again, this is not financial advice, but if we look back at history, real estate is the best way to sort of make your money work for you. What are your thoughts on that, Paul? I mean, every 10 years it's cyclical that your money is going to at least, if not double, it will at least grow, by 25%. Have you seen that in your experience?
Well, money, we have seen that money really grows faster when you invest it in real estate. This is a pretty secure investment. You just run the numbers and you will find out that there was nothing wrong in investing a couple years back. I am more in favor of investing in housing than in stocks and other, intangible things which are just in the air.
Right, right. Again, yeah, also with some of the policies that are being put in place throughout different municipalities all across Canada, what you're seeing is there's definitely drastic measures taken by municipalities in order for a developer to offer certain um, safety safety things where it's going to impact the cost to the
Hmm.
consumer, right? So building costs, if the building codes change across the board, whether it's for seismic or whether it's to have low impact housing on the environment, developers are going to push that cost forward to the consumer. So um, if you look at this point in time, um, any sort of new sale or new construction offering that there is available right now, those have already been approved by that particular municipality. So it would be advantageous to take a step at this point in time on that particular project because future projects, um, you know, the municipalities will have those rules and regulations in place for the developers to say, okay, guys, you have to now expand more of your criteria, the framework to abide by environmental standards,
Hmm.
seismic upgrades, initially uh, offering something which is more sustainable is going to have an increased cost. So the developers, they still need to make their 20, 30, or 40%, whatever it is, 20% at a minimum.
Yeah, 20
Um,
to 25% after all expenses.
yeah, so they don't want to bankrupt themselves going into business to build homes. Um, it it becomes it becomes a certain issue in the future. So anything, my recommendation is okay. Say for example, you decide you want to buy a pre-sale. You don't necessarily say, okay, well, I'm going to buy the Spring Hill pre-sale because Paul and Amrit were talking about it. Well,
Yeah.
there's other pre-sales. Take the opportunity which suits you guys, right? At the end of the day, there's plenty of opportunity in Markham, Ontario. There's plenty of opportunity in Winnipeg, Manitoba. There's plenty of opportunity locally here in British Columbia, um, one of the most desirable provinces to live.
Yeah.
That this is just one of the projects that we'll be selling and marketing. So there's going to be several others rolled out early next year, which I'll bring Paul up to speed on, and we could certainly have those renderings shared prior to any official launch, right? So if there's anyone that's looking or thinking about a transition or investing their money correctly in BC, then have 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 one of those options in your back pocket, right? Not saying that that's the only thing that's coming up. That's not the only developer that works in British Columbia, but it's certainly a reputable developer. Um, lots of things going on in the future as well. So, and there's a lack of housing. Um, so we're just going to see more and more things come up. But keep in mind, whatever opportunities are now and available, they might be a little bit more expensive if you pull the trigger a little bit later on. Not to put fear. Fear is not something which we want to act on when we're purchasing or taking our time to get our money working in a tangible asset. Um, it really needs to be considered well. So there's always going to be high demand in BC, anywhere in Canada, being one of the safest nations to live. Anywhere in Canada is going to be certainly high demand. And some of the things, obviously, Paul has mentioned, we wanted to talk about some surrounding communities where Langley sits as far as what um, great places to visit is concerned in points of interest. So some of the points of interest I can bring up are, the Fort Langley National Historic Site. It goes through, what makes that particular part of Langley a historic area is because where when the first settlers came in, that's where um, um, BC BC was sort of established. So there's several others where regional parks, Campbell Valley Regional Park, beautiful nature trail with birds that allow you to basically self-internalize at the end of the day. Derby Reach Regional Park. So lots of parks and trails, lots of exciting places to visit. Canadian Museum of Flight. So they got lots of historic aeroplanes. I know you're a big fan, Paul, of aircraft, so that would be interesting when you come here. And then the Kraus Ferry Farm and Estate Winery. I think yearly the Treeland office does a pie giveaway, which I'm looking quite forward to. So they host an event where pies are given away to clients. And lots of wineries in BC, not only in the Okanagan, but also in this part of BC, which is considered as lower mainland. Lots of wineries, lots of cideries to visit. The Fort to Fort Trail, again, you're going to see great amount of wildlife in nature. And then if you're looking for the exotic experience, the Greater Vancouver Zoo, lots of bears, giraffes, hippopotamuses, and all sorts of things. So Langley Event Center is a place where lots and lots of professional sports are also played. The local basketball team is there, and so is the Abbotsford Canucks. Abbotsford Canucks are a hockey team. So plenty of places that you really couldn't get bored on a day-to-day basis in just in a small space, like Langley. There's plenty to do for everyone, right?
Okay. So, Amrit, what's going on with your Spring Hill project? I assume that must be going very fast. So, how long those units would be available in your best, opinion?
So, in my best opinion, again, at the end of the day, we still have units available. Where, as you know, we host events, once a week at one of the local banks to sort of give confidence to the community, and maybe some investors who are visiting from out of town, out of province. We had a good chat with a local couple from Victoria, comparing real estate in Victoria to Langley City. So there's plenty of opportunity still. So if anyone envisions holding some real estate in in the lower mainland language,
Mm-hmm.
then you might want to consider Spring Hill. So, at the end of the day, we do have units available. And as I said, it was a mix of 2 and 1 bedrooms, comprised of 78 1 bedrooms and the balance being the 2 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the project is very interesting. ਬੜਾ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ, ਲੁੱਕ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਆ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਇਹੀ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਸਮਾਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਪਹੁੰਚੀਏ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਤੇ ਕਹੀਏ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਯੂਨਿਟ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ, ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਵੀ ਬੜੇ ਅਫੋਰਡੇਬਲ ਆ। ਵਾਟ ਐਲਸ ਯੂ ਨੀਡ ਇਨ ਅ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ, ਯੂ ਟੈਲ ਮੀ ਦਿਸ।
100%. I mean, connectivity is the biggest thing, and like I was explaining, there's so many things to do in the lower mainland.
Yeah.
If you can fit, great things to do in a city, Langley has everything. If you want a good nightlife outing, it's here. If you want parks and trails, it's here. If you want, if you want wineries, cideries, basically something for everyone.
Yeah, something for everyone, which is phenomenal. So that means nobody will be alone. Everyone would have some kind of great company because they are in surrounding good neighborhood. I would say safe neighborhood, right? Because Langley has a very good safety rating as far as I know.
Langley is, again, very safe area, great place to bring up kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't discount the fact that it is an urban center, so there you are going to see some homelessness, right? I mean, where we are located, it's outside the central city limits.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's still an 8-minute walk to the proposed SkyTrain station.
Okay. But in Toronto, if you drive around, you will see many homeless people on the street. They don't even want to go to the shelters because I hear that they do not cater much to them, and I don't have any personal experience about that, but I keep hearing bad stories about that. So only someone who has been exposed to those kind of environment would be better to comment on that. But I keep hearing that people, even if they want to go there, it's not a great neighborhood. So this is something that goes with, I guess, every city in the world, right? Nothing is perfect and nothing should be perfect. This is what I say.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're looking at something which is uncontrollable to us, right?
Yeah.
And who do we question on homelessness issues? And 9 times out of 10, everybody turns around and says, okay, well, it's this guy's fault, that guy's fault. Well, the bottom line is there's certain issues which are uncontrollable by us. All we can do is try our best to help our clients and navigate through and make the right decision for themselves. So,
Yeah.
like I explained to you, at the end of the day, we have a saying in Swahili, kidogo kidogo nitasi kebaba, which means a little bit at a time fills the pot. So when we take little bits of action steps in order to obtain a goal,
Mm-hmm.
it will take time, but it will happen, right? So daily I pray for the young people that are out there that have been potentially forced into that situation. No one put a gun to anyone's head, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and if we can help elevate each other, then it will help create greater and better communities, right?
Absolutely. So right now I'm showing one plan which is a unit C 4.2. It is a two bedroom, two bathroom, 943 square feet. Would you have the pricing for this handy for us?
So that one is not available.
But it's not available anymore.
No, so see, that's the most appropriate unit for. It's got the best corner unit, right? All corners have windows.
Yeah.
I think that was sold in the first week. Yeah.
Okay. So that means even your units at location C, two bedroom, two bathroom. So I guess even those are not available.
So there's some. I mean, again, people just have to really consider and go through exactly which particular unit they want. But
Yeah, to me, I really like this number 7. This looks so cool. Sorry, not number 7. It is unit C, two bedroom, two bathroom, 895 square feet.
which floor?
Would you know the price of this off your mind, or you need to consult a document?
Which floor?
I think it was 6th floor.
Sixth floor. That would be 750 plus GST.
750 plus GST, but there is no land transfer tax when you buy up to 750. Is that right?
Exactly.
So that means it's only 750, nothing 20, 30,000 over the top. And this is kind of corner unit, which I believe faces northwest. Not sure because I don't see the directions up here. I'm just making an assumption here. So the way it is laid out, it has a nice ring to it. I really like the way the units have been placed. Unit A1 have better exposure. So I know you won't be in a position to highlight any specific view. Oh, this exposure is great, that exposure is great. But what people usually look at when they are selecting a condominium, are they looking more easterly exposure or westerly or northerly or
To be honest,
southern?
most investors don't care. End users, depending what part of the world they're from, if they've had exposure to Eastern cultures, they normally want a south-facing door.
Okay.
And then if anyone local is thinking or considering they want to be more on a less busy, so road traffic is not there. Corner units and also ground floor units are often a very popular thing, because at the end of the day, when you look at ground floor units are going to attract more of the older generation. Even if you're thinking about buying it as an investment, the tenants can be a little bit older. Or if it's a young couple and they have a dog, they can let the dog or the cat out easily on the patio. So easy access to get in and out, right?
This is cool because basically it's pet friendly building, so one can get the pets in.
Yeah, so any new construction is going to have standard strata bylaws, right? Those standard strata bylaws include 2 pets,
Okay.
2 cats or 2 dogs, 2 fish, and then when the strata council is in place and any rules and regulations are changed, then they amend the strata bylaws, right? So
Okay.
any new construction is going to start off with standard strata bylaws.
Okay.
and that would be in the disclosure statement at the time of um, looking at that offering, right?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this building. The way the floor plan has been laid out. To me, it looks really attractive, and I'm pretty confident you have many people from this side of the world giving you hard time, saying, "Hey, I want this unit," and then you call them and say, "Sorry, that is not available." So the time to act to purchase this the units in this Spring Hill condominium, which they call as luxury condominiums, is today and today itself. 778 999 1531. So we Ontarians are so much used to using 416 in our mind. It's always 416 or 647 line. But when it comes down to your numbers, 778 doesn't even ring a bell. So that's pretty cool, fantastic. And is there anything else you want to share with us, and which is beneficial to anyone moving from Ontario to BC?
Well, next week I think what we'll have is we'll have a reel, video reel of me visiting local shops and restaurants in the area. So we can really put that at the forefront for people to understand, okay, this is the community that I'm potentially thinking of moving into, or at least having an investment. Because some people, they send their kids here for university, right? So at the end of the day, you never know. They might think, okay, I'm thinking about buying something or renting something.
Okay.
This is the locality because it's going to be very close to Trinity, Trinity Western University here, TWU, in Langley, and then so it's also got great close proximity to a lot of the career colleges as well. So very beneficial. Next week we'll have a video reel for you to play of me visiting local vendors here.
And you don't have to wait until next week to send the video. If it is available today, just shoot it our way today. And I am just looking at a news item. It's running live right now. 16 killed in shootings in Lewiston, Maine, in US. What a sad story. I really don't understand why this happens. So it says, I don't know when it was. It says latest news, and I'm referring to CP24.com website, which says at least 16 people killed in Maine shooting. And this video was, they have a small video up there. I really don't know when it was, but I read an advisory saying this man could have traveled to Canada. People are everywhere, man. This is dangerous situation out there. So be cautious, be careful. ਮੈਂ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੇ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਕੁੰਡੇ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਖੁੱਲੇ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਰੱਖਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਆ ਬੈਲ ਮੁਝੇ ਮਾਰ।
You got to look after yourselves, guys. It's very important, I think, and just have the good Lord in your mind, and really, really pray for those who are suffering at this time.
Yeah, everything is kind of, I don't know which state of world we are living in. But anyways, ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ PC24RETV। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਲਾਈਵ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਲਿੰਕਡਇਨ, ਟਵਿੱਟਰ, ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ, ਟਿਕਟੌਕ ਤੇ ਵੀ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਆ IPTV ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਵ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਗੁਰਲੀਨ ਔਜਲਾ 6474658894। give her a call for any matter related to immigration। ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਰਿਫਿਊਜ਼ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਲਗਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ, ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਜ਼ਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਂਸਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਵਰਕ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ 'ਚ, give her a call। ਸਰਬਜੀਤ ਲੁੱਦੜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਬ੍ਰੋਕਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਬਿਯੋਂਡ ਕੇਅਰ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ। 4168793039 ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ BC ਤੋਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ BC ਦੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਰਟੀ ਬਾਏ ਸੈਲ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਗਿਵ ਹਿਮ ਏ ਕਾਲ 7789991531। ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਅਕਬਰ ਵਾਰਿਸ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਰ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਜੁੜਨਗੇ। ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ। 4163719849 4163799849। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਜੀ, ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ offense ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਦਿਨੋਂ ਦਿਨ ਵਧੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। I don't know what's going on in BC, but we see 1 or 2 shootings every other day in GTA.
To be honest, the number of shootings I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, in BC, it's difficult.
Yeah. ਸੋ 7 ਘੰਟੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਏਜੰਸੀ ਨੇ ਅਲਰਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਾਂਟਡ ਮੇਨ ਗਨਮੈਨ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿਹਨੇ ਮੇਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਚਲਾਈਆਂ, ਜਿਹਨੇ 15-16 ਬੰਦੇ ਮਾਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਆ ਜੀ। ਵੈਂਸਡੇ ਨਾਈਟ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਲਿਊਸਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, 260 ਕਿਲੋਮੀਟਰ ਸਾਊਥ ਵੈਸਟ ਆਫ ਦ ਨਿਊ ਬਰੁੰਸਵਿਕ ਬਾਰਡਰ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖੋ, ਇਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਕੀਪ ਯੂਅਰ ਆਈਜ਼ ਓਪਨ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫੋਟੋ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ, ਆਈ ਡੂ ਨੋਟ ਸੀ ਇਟ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਵਿਦ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਐਂਡ US ਲਾਅ ਐਨਫੋਰਸਮੈਂਟ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ ਇਨਕਲੂਡਿੰਗ US ਕਸਟਮਸ and borders protection and RCMP to protect Canada's borders against any threat or attempt at illegal entry. So CBSA ਨੇ ਵਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਗਾਰਡਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਚੁਕੰਨੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ, ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ੱਕੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਟਾਫਟ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਵਾਲੇ ਕਰੋ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਤੇ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਟੈਰਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਵਧਿਆ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੁਰਾ ਹਾਲ ਹੋਇਆ। ਆਈ ਰੀਅਲੀ ਡੂ ਨਾਟ ਨੋ ਵੇਅਰ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਹੈਡਿੰਗ ਟੂ। ਆਪਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ 'ਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੈਲਥ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੋਰ ਅਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ, ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਧਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਾ। ਇਹ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਦੇਰ ਚੱਲੂਗਾ? ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ's reputation is at stake.
Well, again, I mean, I think at the present time we're probably in one of the safest places in the world, but again, the stats that you have read are really kind of, you know, the occurrences, we don't know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. People get frustrated and they don't know how to handle things, right?
Absolutely. This is the right word. People get frustrated. ਤੋ ਐਨੀਵੇ ਜੀ, ਪੀਪਲ ਤਾਂ ਬੜੇ ਫਰਸਟਰੇਟ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਰੇਟਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ। ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਰਿਸਪਾਈਟ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੈਂਕ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਨਾਊਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਯਾਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਤਕੀ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਕੀਪਿੰਗ ਇਟ ਦ ਵੇ ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼, ਵੀ ਆਰ ਨੋਟ ਚੇਂਜਿੰਗ ਐਨੀਥਿੰਗ। ਪੀਪਲ ਆਰ ਗੈਟਿੰਗ ਸਮ ਰਿਸਪਾਈਟ ਫਰੋਮ ਦੈਟ?
Well, I think it made a difference. But look at the difference it's going to take in order for there to be significant change in what you can or cannot afford, right? So every 100,000 is going to be $25 less if it goes down 25 basis points.
Yeah, but now, that's not going to happen.
Some people, it's not going in that direction at the present time. So what systems the government proposes, and you know, us seeing the result of people's frustration, evident in the news, people are getting stressed out. There's going to be foreclosures. There's going to be homelessness. The powers that be are, I don't know whether it's a strangulation on the populace, but at the end of the day, I cannot control that. The only thing I can control is what action steps I take in order to try and make community better, right? And the only way to do that is through, reaching out to people and sort of expressing what avenues I can do, what avenues I can take in order to assist them. And I'm just little old me, right? I'm not the government. The government has the power to do any number of things. So maybe the direct result of maybe the shootings are a direct result of what the government's implementing. I don't know. It's a sad state of affairs, but at the end of the day, you can control what you do, I can control what I do, and if the governments are going to step in and do something completely absurd, then I can't control that. Neither can you.
ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਬਿਗ 6 ਬੈਂਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਜਿਵੇਂ BMO, CIBC, NBC, RBC, ਸਕੋਸ਼ੀਆ, TD, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਨੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ 2 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ 2024 ਐਂਡ 2025, ਉਹ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਕਿ BMO ਦੀ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਂਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਈਅਰ until 2024 the policy rate will stay at 5%. ਮਤਲਬ ਹੁਣ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ all through 2024 the policy rate will not change, but it will not even go lower. CIBC ਦਾ ਇਹ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਆ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਇਹ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 3.59 ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ 2024 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਪਰ for this year it will stick to 5%. National Bank of Canada 4% forecast ਕਰਦਾ end of 2024, ਤੇ RBC ਵੀ 4% forecast ਕਰਦਾ ਰੇਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਸਕੋਸ਼ੀਆ ਬੈਂਕ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ 4% plus 25 ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਉੱਪਰ, ਸੋ 4% to 4.25 ਦੀ ਰੇਂਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਦ ਕਿ TD ਬੈਂਕ 3.50 ਦੀ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਐਂਡ ਆਫ 2024। ਸੋ TD ਤੇ CIBC ਦੇ ਆਰ ਫੇਅਰਲੀ ਕਲੋਜ਼, 3.59, 3.50. NBC, RBC are at 4% for 2024 and December 2024, ਜਦ ਕਿ BMO ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ 5% ਤੇ ਅੜਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ। NBC, RBC, ਸਕੋਸ਼ੀਆ, ਇਹ ਤਿੰਨੇ ਬੈਂਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ 4% ਤੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ। ਲੈਟਸ ਗੋ ਡਾਊਨ ਟੂ 2025। 2025 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ BMO ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੂਰ ਆ, ਹਲੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਮੱਥਾ ਮਾਰਨਾ। ਤੇ CIBC ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ 2025 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੌਰਗੇਜ ਦੇ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਰੇਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ 2.45। ਸਕੋਸ਼ੀਆ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ 2025 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ 3.25, ਤੇ TD ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਲੋਐਸਟ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ 2025 ਦੀ 2.25। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ 2.25 ਜਾਂ 2.45 ਚਲੇ ਗਏ, ਡੋਂਟ ਯੂ ਥਿੰਕ ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਵਿਲ ਟੇਕ ਅ ਬਿਗ ਲੀਪ? ਅਮਰ ਸੂਰਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਜੁੜੇ ਇਹ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ CIBC ਕਹਿੰਦਾ 2025 'ਚ 2.45 ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਰੇਟ, TD ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ 2.25 ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ 2025 ਦੇ ਐਂਡ 'ਚ, ਸਕੋਸ਼ੀਆ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ 3.25 ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਰੇਟ 2025 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।
ਓਕੇ,
ਤੇ when the rate goes to 2.25 or 2.45 policy rate ਹੈ, my fair guess is the housing value will again start taking big leaps. What do you think?
100%. We were having the same conversation the other day. I think the difference in the rate of interest that you're going to be saving is going to be quite substantial at the end of the day. So you're better off because you'll end up paying more because the potential of the multiple bid offers, competing offers, prices going up based on the fact that the interest to borrow is lesser. So people who are waiting for 2025 might be unreasonably surprised when it comes to 2025 that the property prices have gone back up, 10-15%. So at the end of the day, what ends up happening is we illustrate that the only change that happens is the mentality of the people who are going to be the consumer is that's the only thing that changes. The payment structures remain the same, and you're either going to be able to get qualified at a higher rate,
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So I have some very interesting facts and figures, and I don't know why the rates are too high in BC versus Canada, Ontario. So I'm looking at the Statistics Canada census data for 2021, I guess. Yeah, 2021. In BC, the population as of 2021 was 5,879,000, and it rose by 7.6% from 2016 to 2021, just 7.6%. And population density per square kilometer is 5.4. 5.4 people per square kilometer. ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ। ਤੇ ਟੋਟਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟ ਡਵੈਲਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਦੇ ਆਰ 2,211,694. So out of 5 million population, total dwellings are 2.2 million. I believe, let's say there are 3 members per family. I guess this is a fairly correct number, right? From 5 million.
Yeah,
Approximately. And then, so if we, this is 13.5% share of Canadian population. So remember these two things. 13.5% is share of population, and 5.4 people per square kilometer. Let me contrast it with Ontario. Right? So population grew less than BC, 5.8%. ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀਗੀ 7.6%. And population density in Ontario is 15.9 persons per square kilometer. This is how you read it? Population density per square kilometer is 15.9. So there are 14,223,942 people in Ontario as of 2021. And the dwellings are 5.929 million. So ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਿਸਕਨੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ 14 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ 3 ਨਾਲ ਡਿਵਾਈਡ ਕਰੀਏ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਹੋਗਾ? 6, 5, ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਠੀਕ ਹੀ ਆ। ਜੇ 14 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 3 ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਸਾਈਜ਼ ਹੋਏ, ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਸੈਟਲਾਈਟ ਫੈਮਿਲੀਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ। ਜੇ 3 ਬੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਹੋਣ ਤੇ 4 ਤੇ 12, 4 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ, 4.5 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਮਕਾਨ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ, ਪਰ 6 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਹੈਗੇ। ਸੋ isn't that strange ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਡੈਂਸਿਟੀ ਘੱਟ ਆ ਪਰ ਹਾਊਸ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ?
Yeah, well, look at the backdrops and the type of different kind of activities that you can do here, right? So nature lovers, people like to be a little bit more safe and secure, less crime, this part of the world. I mean, at the end of the day, weather patterns are also going to dictate.
Yeah, even then, Ontario is very cold, but still there are more people than BC. I don't understand that. I guess BC should have same number of people as Ontario has, or maybe much higher, right?
Mhm.
Is it because of education or anything like that that people have to stick here, or the employment centers? I know you may not have an answer today, but this is something that is worth talking in the future broadcast. Why is it? What's going on? Like if I look at the education here, there it says there are 29.7% of adults between 25 to 64 with a college certificate or diploma, and 35% percentage of adults 25 to 64 with a bachelor's degree. Now going to Ontario, this is something, these are very interesting. We have less here, I guess. Let me recall BC once again. Yeah, so we have more adults ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ 25 ਤੋਂ 64 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, they have college or diploma, and 36.8 with a bachelor's degree, while in Ontario or in BC ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕਾਲਜ ਸਰਟੀਫਿਕੇਟ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਉਹ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ 30% ਆ, ਪਰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਡਲਟਸ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੈਚਲਰਸ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਦੈਟਸ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਆਫ ਸਿਮਿਲਰ. Very, very strange. Like these numbers are kind of some kind of eye opener, and I will dig into that a bit more.
Yeah, interesting.
Very interesting.
Definitely. But also, if you recall, when immigration happens, the starting point is always further east.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So they're bringing more people into the eastern parts of Canada first, and then they migrate over. So
then they find out that there is a place called BC. Let's go there.
right? No, I mean at the end of the day, I think not a lot of people know this. There's certain benefits given to people to relocate into provinces which are a little bit more hard to live.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you go to Nova Scotia and you have a certain type of job, you might get a little bit more money because you're opting to relocate there for a certain period of time. So those kind of things play a big part in it too, right? So
yeah. But you didn't land in Ontario first. You straight land into BC, and that's my biggest complaint.
Yeah, BC, because again, the whole requirement for my family's move was the father's business relocation was here as opposed to anywhere else in Canada.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is.
The roots are definitely different.
Roots are stronger than anything else. So where there is a family, there is where we find our peace, right? This is how it goes.
100%.
So ਅਸੀਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਬੈਂਕ ਦਾ ਰੇਟ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ 6 ਬੈਂਕਸ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੀ 2025 'ਚ ਘਟਣਾ ਹੈ. ਮੈਂ ਰੱਬ ਅੱਗੇ ਦੁਆ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਅਗਲੀ ਅਨਾਊਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਮਸ ਦੇ ਗਿਫਟ ਦੇ ਦੇਣ. 6 ਦਸੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਅਨਾਊਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਆ, ਤੇ 6 ਦਸੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਣ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਰੇਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਘਟਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਆ ਬਾਈ 1% ਪੁਆਇੰਟ, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਟਿਫ ਮੈਕਲਮ ਦੇ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਗਿਫਟਾਂ ਦਾ ਢੇਰ ਲਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਕਿ ਬਾਬਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਹੈ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤੀ.
Yeah, let's hope there's more reprieve for people and they can carry on, making their commitments. And as long as people are working, you're going to see, people that can.
Many premiers of provinces They wrote letters to Governor of Bank of Canada suggesting him not to increase the rate. And the governor, Tiff Macklem, handled them very sternly. He replied to them, "Do not ever send me these kinds of letters because they undermine the trust with Bank of Canada." ਲੋਕੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ they will start thinking ਕਿ ਬੈਂਕ ਆਫ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ politically controlled ਹੈਗਾ, ਸੋ 50 ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸਿਸ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ 10 ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਨੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਘਟਾ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਇਹਨੇ ਰੇਟ ਘਟਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ don't do that BS with me, so you mind your business, let me do my business. I really loved that statement.
Yeah, it's more ego than anything, right? So,
Well, I think Bank of Canada is just trying to protect the value of our money. The less the inflation, the more you can buy for the same dollar. The more the inflation, the less you can buy for that amount. So I don't know where the slip was. Why could they not control inflation when it was headed to 8%? Why did they not act when the inflation was at 5%? Could have been much easier to control at that time.
Maybe the Prime Minister, he printed more money than he should have. I don't know.
Well, I don't think Bank of Canada is politically controlled. I happened to watch a broadcast a while ago where the host was blaming Bank of Canada for everything. I don't think you can put 100% blame on Bank of Canada. At some point or in direct or indirect way, we are also responsible for this situation. So when the policy rate was 0.25%, Amrit, and the qualifying criteria was 5.25%, people knew they could easily make mortgage payments because the interest was literally like zero. But to get over the hoop of 5.25%, I guess there were fabricated documents. But they did not understand one fact, that why the stress test was introduced. If the rates go to 5.25%, what will happen? Would people be able to control and keep affording the house at that time? So people didn't take that seriously, and they bought houses for way more money than they should have, right? And when the rates went to 6%, now every blame is being put on Bank of Canada. We qualified in a wrong fashion at the outset of it. So I believe you can't throw the whole blame on Bank of Canada. So let's give them some benefit of doubt.
Right. Yeah. Everyone's going to do their job. So I guess we should continue to do ours, and just wish that people can keep steadfast in their jobs and carry on making those payments, and hope and pray that it'll slowly start going down over time. So with that, I guess Paul, I have to bow my head out and leave.
Yeah, me too. We covered our time. So we were 15 minutes late. We are right on dot. It is 7:43 at my side. So yeah, I will let you leave. Thank you very much, Amrit, for joining.
Thank you so much.
Whatever way you could.
Have a great day. Bye for now.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So ਇਹ ਸੀਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੁਰਾ ਜੀ ਫਰੋਮ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ, ਸਿਟੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਐਬਟਸਫੋਰਡ। ਇਹ ਹਰ ਥਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਨਾਲ ਸਰੀ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। If you ever need any help with the purchase, give him a call. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ 7789991531। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਗਿਆ ਲੈਣੀ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ। ਆਗਿਆ ਲੈਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਸ਼ਰੀਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਜੀ ਗਵਾ ਲਿਆ। ਅੱਜ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਵਿਛੜੀ ਰੂਹ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਸਦਮੇ ਤੋਂ ਉਭਰਨ ਦਾ ਬਲ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ ਹੁਣ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ 6:30 ਤੋਂ 7:30 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ। ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਲੰਬੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਉਦੋਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਆਗਿਆ ਲੈਣੀ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ।